Good morning, jr4. Hope all of you are okay. Let's start with lesson 4 of concept 2, which is talking about reaction time. Junior 4, I think we finished lesson 3 with the definition of reaction time, and we said it it is meaning the time taken by an organism's body to react to different stimuli around it. Now, let's start with a small activity, which is talking about the difference of reaction time, or how can reaction time be different depending on the sensory that we will depend on. Now we have three friends and a chair, stopwatch, and a stack. Okay. Um, One of these three friends will stand on the chair, but the other will sit on the floor, and the third one will start to hold a stopwatch. At the first, we will start with the first friend, which is standing on the chair. He will hold a stick and start to count down or say, for example, go or whatever. And the second one who sits on the floor started to try to catch the stick. Okay. And the third one started to calculate or record the time that taken by the second one to can hold or catch the stick. Okay. After that, they will start to repeat this action for several times. For example, for 3 times, and start for each time to record the time that taken to can hold or catch the stick. After that, we started to close the eyes of the second friend who is sitting on the floor, and the first friend started to say go or count down 3, 2, 1, for example, to can take the attention of the second friend to can help them or help him, I'm sorry, to catch the stick. Okay. And also the third friend starts to record the time taken by the second one to can catch the stick. And they also will repeat this reaction for several times, for example, for 3 times, also to can record the time taken for each time. We will find in jr4 at the first time or at the first part, they depend on the sight sensory. Okay, but in the second part, they will depend on hearing sensory. So when we started to record the time taken for the two cases or the two parts, in the first part, we will find that they will take around from 1 to 3 seconds to can catch or hold the stick. But in case part 2, they will take more than 3 times, maybe reach to 5 or 6 seconds to can catch the stick or the or hold the stick. So we can say that in the first part or in the first time, they depend on his eyes to saw the stick falling. After that, send to his brain specific signals to can proceed this process, or to can ask the brain how they can hold or how they can catch the stick. So the brain processes this information and transmitted or resend another messages to his hand muscles to can catch it. But in the second one, the organ who is responsible, or the organ which is responsible for sending these specific messages, will be his ears. Why? Because in the second one, we started to close his eyes. Okay. So we will conclude that to can catch the ruler by using our or his eyes, or by depending on the sight, will be faster than depending on the ears or his hear sensory. Okay. Now let's solve that. Put right in front of the situation that illustrate the importance of reaction time. The first one, he said, you move your hands away from you move your hands away from on touching a very hot object. So it's so important to be or to have reaction time small, or to can recognize that as faster as possible. Number two, you blank your eyes when something comes near to. Blank here means jr4 to close your eyes when anything become near to your eyes. So of course you have to take less time as possible as to can protect your eyes. So the action time here is so important. You fall while playing football isn't so important like these two examples. Okay, and now let's start with the next lesson, which is lesson 5, which is talking about how a nervous system works. We can consider this lesson jr4 recap, just recap for the part of the nervous system. We said that we need, or we have a specific sequence to can perform the function of the nervous system. Start with collect the information from the outside and or inside, then started to send a specific signals or messages or electrical impulses to our brain to can start to recognize or understanding or process these information that enter to the brain to can solve it correctly and resend or recall a specific signals again, but to your body to tell it how they can perform, or how they can do, or how the specific or the suitable respond that we have to do. Okay, so we need to collect, after that send to the brain, then the brain started to translate or start to understanding or understand or start to recognize or start to process this information to can respond by a suitable solution or a suitable reaction. What role do the senses of living organisms play in processing information? We said that there is an important relation between the 5 senses and the nervous system, and that's why we started to study the nervous system in this concept, which is talking about the senses. Let's start, or let's know now what is the relation between both of them by knowing the important role of these senses. Number one, the sensory organs like eyes, ears, skin, and so on are responsible for collecting this information. We said that the sequence of our nervous system to can perform its function, number one, collect information from outside or inside. This collecting of the information is done by the helping of our sensory organs. Number two, the nervous system sends this information from sensory organ to brain through the nervous to be processed and solve it or and finished. So we can say that our sensory organ are the responsible for collecting information or responsible for entering the data for our brain to start to solve or to start to send a suitable response to our bodies. So there is a big relation, or there is an important relation between our nervous system and the five sensory or the sensory organs in general. I think you can remember the example of the pizza and how we can distinguish, or how we can recognize this smell is refers to the pizza. Now we have another example. In the example of the pizza, it was depending on our nose or our sensory, which is the smell sensory. But now we will depend on our ears or the hearing sensory. When your ears hear the bird is chirping, which means that when the birds that surround us start to send or produce a specific sound waves, your ears send messages to your brain through nerves, which processes these sounds. After that, brain started to resend or respond with a specific signals to the brain to tell it what to do, such as turning around to search the source of the sound, or where is the bird on the tree. So as we said, junior 4, we have to be or we have to have this information saved in our memory. So if it's our first time to hear this sound, we can't recognize it, or we can start to connect that these sounds are related to the birds. Okay, so all of these responding, or all of these informations have to be saved in our memory, because the brain started to search or started to take this information and send them for us again by depending on the searching in our memory. Okay, notes. Number one, the components of the nervous system are connected together to the nerves that transmit information throughout the body parts. Number two, some messages, which are called reflex action, are so fast that you can't realize it. What's meant by reflex action? Reflex action means involuntary or automatic action that your body does in response to something without you even having to think about it. Like what, junior 4? Like blinking your eyes when something is near to your eyes. So you will blink your eyes without the permission or without thinking about that. Why? Because this action is considered as a reflex action or automatic action. Or raising your arm if a ball is thrown your way, so it also will respond without taking the permission or without thinking about it. Okay, our messages are sent from and to brain automatically, like the signals to teeth. It's also something spontaneous, like breathing or heartbeats. So it's something spontaneous. Spontaneous means these reactions or this response or these signals will be from brain to the organ, or from organ to the brain, automatic, without thinking also. Let's solve that. Complete the following sentence. The components of the nervous system are connected to each other by, will be by nervous. So here it will be by nervous. Number 2, the sensory organs like dots, and dots. We have a lot of sensory organ. Junior 4, you have to differentiate between sensory organ and the sense. Here he is asking about the organs, so it will be nose, eyes, and for example skin. Okay. The nervous system send information via dots to be processed. Our nervous system started to send this information via our sensory organs, and we said it will be the main important rule for our sensory organ to the body. So it will be to the brain at the first, because he said that to be processed. Okay, so it will be here the second point, brain. Okay, number 4, collecting information about what happens inside and outside the body is one of the function of what? One of the function of our nervous system. Okay, let's start to solve the final part of the complete. Complete the following sentence by using these words. The brain is a part of, okay, it will be nervous system. Number 2, the bundle number 2, the bundle of nerves passing through the backbone is called bundle. Here it will be means the part of the nervous system that through backbone. It will be spinal cord, and that's to be protected. Okay. Number 3, the nerves transmit information from the sensory organ to the brain in the form of, we said, electrical impulses. Number 4, the dot is the time taken by an organism's body to respond to different stimuli, so for sure it will be reaction time. Number 5, the dot is considered the main control center part of the body. It will be for sure brain. Number 6, the dots are the nerves that lie in different places of the body and are responsible for receive information from the environment. Will be sensory receptors. Finally, with number 7, the dots carry messages from the brain to spinal cord and other parts of the body, so it will be nerves. Now we finished our lesson junior 4, and now we can say that we finished also concept 2. So next video inshallah we will start with concept 3. See you later and bye bye.